Hey everyone, Kyle Mike here from MLive.com. Joined by Justin Rogers. Back here at Allen Park for practice on Thursday. Just one more to go before the preseason opener, which is kind of hard to believe. It's flying by, and at the same time, it's laboring on.
We're ready.
Yeah. What was your reaction from practice today?
You know, I'm really keyed in on the wide receivers right now. It's a really nice competition behind Calvin Johnson, who didn't practice today, and Golden Tate. It seems like Kevin Ogletree's really stepped in and kind of locked down that third job. Joe Lombardi spoke glowingly about him again today. He really appreciates Ogletree's route running. There was a pass today, and he talked about his veteran savvy and completing plays. There was a route today that really exemplified that with it was one-on-one with Darius Slay. It was a straight go route down the sideline. Slay's a tough guy to beat down the sideline with just raw speed, and he was right in Ogletree's pocket. And the last second, Ogletree extended his arm, not in an illegal way, but just enough to create space without a push-off, and completed a perfectly placed ball from Stafford. So you could see what he's doing. And then beyond that, you know, it's interesting. It's Chris Durham. We kind of know what we got there. Corey Fuller, who's made excellent strides this camp, and Ryan Broyles, who, you know, still kind of floating down toward the bottom of the depth chart, but it's not like he's playing poorly. It's just the opportunities are not there as some of the other guys have had.
Yeah, well, with Tate coming into the fold, you know, it's a little bit deeper than what it was last year. And, you know, I'm surprised, too, because I don't think Broyles has made any terrible mistakes, per se, but he just seems buried on the depth chart at this point. Whenever they break up into two fields, he's always with the B team, the B field, so to speak. And, you know, coming into this camp just with his stature as a second-round pick, and we haven't really been able to see him at his best because of the injuries and stuff. I just thought if he was healthy, he would have been on this team. But I'm not so convinced of that anymore, just given the reps that he's taking and the limited reps he's taken with the starters. And to your point on Ogletree, he's, I think, repped every day with the first team, or just about.
Yeah, and I think maybe the first day and second day he came in after that, it's been consistent.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised at all to see him as the number 3 against Cleveland. Flipping it around on defense, Justin, the Lions signed a cornerback today, Drayton Florence. That name probably sounds familiar, at least to the most ardent Lions fans. God bless your souls. But he was here in 2012, played a few games for the Lions, and he played well last year for Carolina. I was looking it up, and on Pro Football Focus, at least with his sample size, it was a little bit smaller, but still he was the 19th best cornerback in the NFL last year.
On a great defense too. I mean, Carolina really one of the best in the league.
Right, and so I think he can still play a little bit. According to the people I talked to, he looked fine out there today. I think they're looking at him at maybe at nickelback or as a reserve cornerback, and it wouldn't surprise me if he made this team. Which got me to thinking, you know, the cornerback core is not particularly deep or talented, but there are still a lot of names in the mix, and names that Lions fans have become attached to. And I'm curious who's not going to make it. I mean, 6. I think they'll keep 5 or 6 cornerbacks, so we'll presume 6. The Lions have Rasheed Mathis, Darius Slay, Bill Bentley, Jonte Green, now Drayton Florence, Nevin Lawson, and Cassius Vaughn, and that's not even including Chris Greenwood, who we agree is maybe falling behind in the mix. So that's 8 guys. So which 2 guys of that mix aren't making it?
You know, I'm not convinced Florence is even a favorite to make the squad. You know, it's not like Mathis last year. It was a reactionary signing, and he came into camp and immediately popped. I look at him as a veteran voice, a guy that can provide additional leadership in that group that's pretty young across the board, can help guys like Jonte Green and Chris Greenwood with some of their technique questions, because Mathis has really been shouldering the load there. You see Mathis almost every day talking to cornerbacks, which is great, but, you know, he does need help with some of those conversations. So we got 2 beyond Chris Greenwood that's not making the roster. I'm going to leave Florence in that group, and
it's tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking at Vaughn and Green. I really liked what Green's done in this camp. I know Vaughn's got some ties with the coaching staff here. They really like him. They brought him in with a reason, but I still think Green's outplayed Vaughn, so I guess I'm going to lean that direction.
Yeah, we're just speculating. It's not that the Lions cornerbacks are so talented. Obviously, they're not at this point, at least in terms of depth. But they haven't done a lot to differentiate themselves so far. Jonte Green looks a lot like Cassius Vaughn. We just saw Drayton Florence for the first time today. Bill Bentley's in there. I mean, there's a lot of evenness in that group right now, and it's just kind of hard to tell who's ahead and who's behind. Outside of Chris Greenwood, I think he's fallen behind.
Yeah, and something I would say in Vaughn's favor, he does tend to be kind of hit or miss. He misses a lot of plays, gives up a lot of plays, but when he does make a play, he tends to come down with the interception, and those are really valuable. I know it probably brings to mind Alphonso Smith, who was here for several years as a guy that made plays but blew plays. But on a team that really struggled to force turnovers, a guy like that could appeal to the coaching staff.
Yeah, that's what we got from Thursday's practice. Like I said, we'll be back here Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. It'll probably be a light practice before game time on Saturday. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We're MLive. Keep it right here.